sweating out here. They got me sweating. So I know you've been talking to your followers for a while now, so we'll get right into it and, get it rolling. But man, okay. Let me think of a question that you may not have been asked. So, all right. So obviously most people know you for your famous character on Friday and whatnot, right? But what if we met just one person who has never seen the movie, which is hard to find. But if we just met one person that's never seen the movie, who would you say that Angela Means is?
There are people, first of all, there are people who haven't seen it. I just ran into someone yesterday who hadn't seen it. But Angela Means is a very compassionate, loyal, talented mother and creator. And I'm not talking about, video creation and social media. I love the creation of planting things in the ground. I love the creation of good food. I'm somebody that suffers from a racing mind. Thoughts just I can't keep up with all of my ideas. So I'm someone that is constantly, you might have to tell me, can you sit down sometimes? My son has to tell me. So I think I'm a good and decent person who is extremely talented and compassionate, who's a vegan and I don't eat flesh.
Right. Yes, that part.
Yeah.
Now that's the relationship that I had to finally break up with myself maybe 10 years ago. So it was a back and forth type of a thing, but now I have zero desire to go back. So I'm with you when it comes to that. But yes.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities they yo-yo. There's some big celebrities that went back, and at first I was like, just don't say anything, just go. If you're gonna go, just go.
Right.
But I have come to the point in my life where I'm more patient, and I think that's part of my diet, my nutritionally dense diet, and then my workout. I think I'm more tolerant of people who don't have the same views as me, who for whatever reason, I think it's the best diet. I think it's the best. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I think it's the best lifestyle. But you have to meet people where they are.
Right, for sure.
Right?
For sure. Yeah.
And if people come to me for information, I'm with it. But I've stopped being that person that you're eating, what are you thinking? Oh my God, you gotta, you can't. So,
yeah.
And I just try to tell people, if they come to me, then I try to tell them things that they haven't heard before. Like, all those animals that you are eating don't eat meat. And all of the protein that they're getting comes from the ground. And all of the biggest mammals on the planet Earth, including the one with the longest fangs, the hippopotamus, is a herbivore. That doesn't eat meat. Gorillas don't eat meat. Elephants don't eat meat. Giraffes don't eat meat.
Right.
So we want to we want to be the lion, tiger, and bear. We want to be fierce. And that's man. I believe it's man's ego, and I believe it's man's downfall. With the science is out there. Poor health is directly related to animal consumption.
Right.
It's science. It's facts now. Here in Texas, where I am, we're the first state, and the bill was just recently passed. I'm sorry I can't cite the bill, but it's easily looked up. We are the first state that requires doctors to study nutrition.
Oh, wow.
Up until now, if you were healing yourself through juices and raw vegan, you were considered crazy. But now, they see, there's a lot of, the first hospital to go completely vegan is in
Mhm.
Houston.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
name? You know the name of it?
Oh my God. It's so easily Googled, and I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. And
Yeah.
it's a brother that headed it up.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
I'll
And I
definitely have to
like
look at it.
your other page, Eat More Electric.
Yeah.
People don't understand we are electric. That's why your heart, when you have a heart attack, they're like clear, and that's electricity to jumpstart it because it is electric. You
Yes.
can you have so much electricity in your body, you can literally light a whole block.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why if you eat death, death begets death, life begets life.
But absolutely. So yeah, I mean, that's the main thing that I teach is about the relationship with food and how it mirrors the relationship with ourselves. So as you've grown over the years, and I think I saw an interview where you grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So you may, I don't know if you guys, ate the animals that you raised or if it was strictly plant-based or whatnot, but how has your relationship changed from childhood to now?
So it was very interesting. I did grow up on a farm, but I was fostered. It was a family farm, but black folks, you ain't getting sick on me. You gonna sit there till you eat everything on that plate. And you know, the generations before us were meat eaters. I didn't realize that people couldn't eat meat until I started modeling and I was out in the world, but I was very sheltered. But I was an only child in the midst of this huge family, and I didn't have a parent. The animals were my friends.
Okay.
And but it was extremely traumatic for an 8-year-old to be forced to eat their friends.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
think I carry a little bit of that trauma, and I think the Tai Chi is kind of getting some of it out of me. Even though I had done yoga for a while, but that trauma stays locked in you,
Oh yeah.
and me and my body, I'm sensitive. So
Mhm.
once I switched to raw vegan, I really understood what was happening in my body. I used to have a gland right here that protruded, and I for years from like age 9, and I would sit and play with it, and after about a year of raw vegan, I went to look for it, and I was like, oh my God, where's my thing? Where's my thingamajig? And
Yeah.
I talked to my mentor, my detox mentor, and she said, Ange, all those berries, scrub that out. And what was in that gland was
Mhm.
the same material from when you were 9. It was just a hard zit. It was just mucus that had collected,
Yeah.
and my lymphatic system wasn't moving
Yeah.
enough to clean that out. And
Mhm.
growing up on a farm, I was eating a lot of starch, I mean, we were eating vegetables, but they were cooking them for 2 hours. They were
Right.
cooking them string beans with that salt pork. Them
Yeah.
greens, them greens ain't ready. Them black eyed peas ain't ready.
Yeah.
What time is it? They need another hour. So
Yeah.
all the nutrients were cooked out,
Mhm.
plus all that fat back and the
Mhm.
smoke. Then they switched to smoked turkey,
Yeah.
thinking, but that's all carcinogenic.
That's all marketing is what told us that it's healthier, right? You know what I mean? So we just kind of learn these things from, over flooding of commercials and, you grow up with school thinking that it's like, all right, you got to get your daily milk in. It's just like from all different angles. It's just
It's
like told to us. And the thing is that,
propaganda.
yeah, exactly. So the more often we hear something, the more we believe it. So it's funny that, or it's unfortunate that knowledge alone is not enough, you know? Like
Well,
go ahead.
I think it's cognitive dissonance.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
know, we
Absolutely.
see, I saw someone having an interview and they're like, no, vegans are missing something in their diet. Okay, B12, but I can get that anywhere. I can get that in a supplement form. I can get that from nutritional yeast. I can get my B12. All
Mhm.
my levels are fine. But I
Right.
think it's people have gone so long doing that thing that they were taught,
Yeah.
it's hard to say, I've been wrong all these years.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. For
And it
sure.
just doesn't make sense until you ask them, have you ever heard of anyone being rushed to the doctor with a protein deficiency?
Yes. Yes. We got to realize who's telling us this stuff. You got to get your protein. You got to get your protein. Who told you that? The meat industry did. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, okay, that's why. So you're speaking my language when you're talking about cognition, cognitive dissonance, because if we hear something for so long and then someone comes and says no and kind of challenges that, it's like, well, I hear you, but I don't really want to believe you because that means breaking up my relationship with my chitlins and my chicken and all these kind of things. And
So
that
I
was
used to
my
tear some
struggle.
chitlins up.
Man, what? With the red hot sauce?
With the
Right?
Louisiana, but I put a little bit of mustard on mine too. Give it that little tang. I can actually taste them now.
Right? Yes.
It's not that people ask you, well, why do you make your food look like meat? It's not that I hated meat.
Right. We just
It's
know what
just
it does
meat
to us.
hated me. I
Right.
am meat. If I
Right.
put meat inside of meat, where's it gonna go?
Say that again. You said you love meat, but meat did what?
Love me.
It didn't love you, right? So love the foods that love you back, and that's the work that we're doing. So yeah, I was a lot like you with like once I found this other side of the world, it's like, oh, everybody needs to be vegan, everybody needs to be plant based. Don't eat that, blah, blah, blah. And I got so much rejection, and I'm just like, it don't
Like you're
love you.
crazy.
It doesn't love you. Like, why aren't you listening to me? And I've got the white coat now. Like, you don't care what I've got to say? No, it doesn't
How
matter.
many, let me ask you something, Doc. How many, what is the percentage of American adults who have chronic disease?
Oh my gosh, it's over 90%.
90% of our population has a chronic disease.
Yeah.
That right there is processed foods,
Yeah.
overconsumption of heavier. I try to explain it to people like meat causes your digestive system to overwork.
Right.
It's
Right.
breaking it down. It's breaking it down. And people are like, oh, well, we got acids and enzymes and stuff in there that'll break that down. But that's like saying, okay, your car will go 120 miles an hour, but are you going to go all the way to work at 120 miles an hour every single day, turning corners at 100 on two wheels? So
Yes.
why would you take your body all the way to the limit? The best thing for your body is foods that are nutritionally dense, that go through your digestive system like that and leave the nutrition behind, as opposed to, this late night eating and you wake up tired because your digestive system didn't get a break.
Right. Yeah.
You eat this breakfast. When you go to the store, what are you buying? Everything for that first effed up meal of the day. Now
Yeah.
you're eating the bacon. American bacon is banned in 160 countries around the world. You're eating the bacon, you're eating the egg, you're eating the butter, you're eating the bread. So now you've put all that in you and you're trying to drive to work and you're mad. You don't even know why you're mad. You got road rage. You don't even know why. Because you got a dead body inside of you. And you're
Yeah.
not a graveyard for
Yeah.
cows and chickens. You're a temple. You're beautiful. You're electric. And then you
Yeah.
put all this acid in it
Yeah.
and you just take your beauty away.
Yeah.
I started seeing, I saw an animal agriculture video on one of my friends' pages. I never put two and two together. When our cows disappeared to go to the slaughterhouse, you never think about it. Cognitive dissonance. Okay, they're being slaughtered, but you think compassionate. How do you compassionately kill something that wants to live?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started with seeing that, and then putting two and two together, and just completely being turned off from from the whole scene of eating meat. And once I did stop, you don't understand how bad you actually feel until you feel really good.
Yes, yes, that part, right? I mean, there's just such a huge disconnection between how our foods get to these grocery stores. And then we've gradually gotten to a space to where we don't feel good anymore. And we don't know what feeling good feels like anymore. You know what I mean?
We just accept it. Like people accept feeling bad.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm like pushing the Tai Chi. The Tai Chi is for people my age. And I've gotten some people on it and they're like, just after a week, you
yeah,
will see the difference. What people don't understand is that your lymphatic system is your sewer system and it doesn't move on its own.
right.
And that's where that gland got swollen. I had a lot of mucus I couldn't lift my shoulder past this for years from softball injury. I couldn't do this. I literally could not do this. And one day I was reaching for something. I was like, oh snap. And there wasn't a sharp pain. So
Right.
what we don't understand is that your respiratory system does its thing, the digestive system does its thing, but the lymphatic system, which is one of the most important, we're just tubes and pipes. And
Yeah.
they get clogged up, they get the plaque and the tartar and all that stuff. But the Tai Chi,
Hmm.
so I've been doing Tai Chi now religiously for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And let me tell you how powerful this is. When you're moving, that's moving the lymphatic system. That's unclogging these pipes. You're
Hmm.
doing, I was having a bladder control issue. It
Okay.
wasn't like, it was just, as soon as I felt like I had to go, it was like, you got to go. It wasn't like, oh, I can hold it for a minute or so.
Hmm.
No, it was
Yeah.
like, run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Wow.
Since the Tai Chi,
Yeah.
that's,
Wow. I love
we're
that.
supposed to move. Like,
Yeah.
I see these people on canes. I see people shuffling. It's like, wake up
Yeah.
and move your body
Yeah.
for
Right.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
get it. And then
Yeah.
all that stuff just breaks up
Yeah.
and everything is flowing like your body is supposed to flow.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a flow.
This is a blessing because I actually have a group session with a community of 55 plus, and I'll look into the Tai Chi so I can pass it on to them because yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward
It's
to.
low impact, and I promise you, after the second time doing it,
Mhm.
the endorphins, the cloudiness, the oh God, I feel it. It just and it only you literally. I do this one move before nighttime,
Okay.
and it's literally just slapping yourself in all of the points. Like
Mhm.
you take like five, you can do it in a minute and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stimulate everything and you'll sleep like a baby. And that
Yes.
they have to learn that too. So I've
Mhm.
got a couple of posts that have a ton of the moves in it in one post on one you'll see I'll send it to you and you should probably share it with them. But Tai
Okay.
Chi was made for the aged.
Right. Right.
And
Wow.
it has changed my life.
Now that I'll be 50 this year, it amazes me.
No.
Yes, yes, in 2 months, in September 11th. So
My
yeah,
son is September 3rd. You're Virgo. I love you.
not, love you back, love you back. But yeah, it hurts my feelings to see that a senior is 55 now, and it's like, when did that happen? I remember being a kid and it was 72, and then 70, and then 65. Now it's 55. So obviously they know the trends because of
Yep.
what's going on, and it's
I'll be my grandmother's age this year. I'll be 63 this year. And when I realized, you or something, when I realized I was a kid, when I asked my grandmother how old she was, I guess it was like 5 or 6, and she said 63. And my whole life, I'm like, when I get sick, first of all, I was like, that's forever away.
Right.
But my whole life, the point was 63, 63. You've got to get to 63. My grandmother could barely get out of a chair at 63. She was obese. Her ankles were always swollen. She had a couple of heart attacks, and she was set. She just sat all day. She'd get up, cook, come back, sit, and the house, that was during the time where Saturday mornings is when the house got clean. That was the deep clean. And she was like, okay, you do this, you do this. But she directed everything from a chair. And most of the women in the country where I grew up on dirt roads, they hit 50 and they feel like life is over, and that you're supposed to be sick. When in fact, well, my mother was I inherited, but you don't inherit sickness. You inherit DNA and diet. And if you eat the same diet and you have the same DNA, you're going to get the same diseases. Exactly. And you can break that. If I had my grandmother's habits, I would probably be pushing about 300 pounds. I would be diabetic, and I would have hypertension. If I sat in a chair all day and I ate her thing, she was from the north, and her thing, she was from Pennsylvania, and her thing was corned beef and cabbage, all that carcinogenic meats, the brisket, the big, and we had pork chops. People don't understand the reason that pork is so bad is that pigs don't sweat. So that sweet, that putridy taste is. I could literally throw up.
Yes, you about to make me throw up, man. Because oh my goodness.
You remember that? You remember biting into that dense meat that you didn't have to marinate. You don't have to marinate no pork.
Right.
You gotta.
Yes.
And it's sweat. That's its own.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but that's its own shit.
It is. Literally. So for those that are listening that don't believe as far as us inheriting our parents or our grandparents' DNA and genes and their issues, knee braces, back braces, all kind of chronic diseases, they can look up twin studies. There's several twin studies where the identical twins were separated at birth, and then they go their own way, get raised by whomever, and they end up getting the diseases that the person has raised them. And rarely did the twins, when they came back 30, 40 years later, rarely did they have the same diseases of each other or the diseases of their parents. So that proves right there. We just grow up doing the same things that people have raised us, and we inherit their habits, and we end up going in that direction. So until you break the generational curses or whatnot for your family, you can just look into a crystal ball and see where your life is headed if you're doing the same exact habits that those that are older.
It's like that phrase, show me your friends, I'll show you your life.
Right? Yeah.
Show me your diet, I'll show you your diseases.
Exactly. There you go. So let me ask you a question on this. So many people laugh at, the character that you played on Friday, right? Mm-hmm. But if I were to watch the movie now, I actually see it a whole different way, and I wouldn't laugh as nearly as much as I did years ago, right? And I actually feel for her, So when you look at Felicia today, what do you think that she was actually searching for?
So people indict me on my position with Felicia, but people don't understand that it's a craft. It really is. It's a talent. It is work to develop a character. And I knew that I wasn't going to stick around for a while and Like this was my chance to really work the Meisner, Stanislavski technique and just really create a character. I remember Faison and I, when he came up with Don't Play With My Emotions, and he was what'd you think about that? What'd you think about that? And I was like, that's dope. And then I told him, you know, I'm going to take her in the direction of the straight man. Like she's going to be, I'm going to develop her character. And I remember Faison looked at me, he was like, I can't tell you what he said because, you know, we called each other the N-word back then. He was like, that, you know, you know, Lucy wasn't Lucy without Ethel.
Right.
So Felicia, listen, every time you see an actor that's working like that, that person is real to them. That's the only way it can happen. That is the craft. Right. So I get it that people don't understand that. Like, she's taking it too deep. She's stuck in the character. I'm not stuck in the character, but I can recall the work, and that's the work. So Felicia just wanted to help people. Yeah. Felicia was a sweetheart. Yeah. You didn't see her, you know, coming back at, you know, and when we were doing the scene with Chris Tucker and Ice Cube on the porch, like we couldn't just be like, you know, I couldn't match where he write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. I couldn't match that because then it would diminish his performance. Someone has to be in comedy. You have to have a straight man. Everybody can't be, you know, bouncing off the wall, getting all the yucks. But I did. So Felicia just wanted to help people. Felicia was in a situation where, in my bio, for me, her mother had neglected her for a new man and a new child. And Felicia was just in the way. So Felicia she was, you know, you're in the way of what I'm trying to do. And there may have been some abuse that the mother didn't believe happened to Felicia. So Felicia had somewhat of a hopeless outlook on herself. So she became a people pleaser. And that happens to us. Yeah. When that type of abuse happens, and no one believes you and no one's there in your corner. And even if you watch the movie, she was left standing by herself. She got her ass whooped by Debo was 300 pounds. At that time, I was probably 104. I was half his weight. So you saw it in my face. Even then, everybody left. You know, it started off, look what you did to my sister's face. Yeah. But when he hit her, when he hit Debbie, that's when it jumped off. Not because he hit Felicia. Yeah. It's so like Felicia's taking the pain. She absorbs the pain from the hood.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way you put that. Absolutely. I love the way you put that because
I worked on that, girl. I worked on that bio, girl. And I'm glad I get a chance to talk about it. I don't know how Cube and DJ Pooh feel about it because they really wanted somebody, you know, they wanted a caricature and over the top, but I just chose to play her different, and I think the audience really appreciated it, you know.
Oh, for sure. I think one of the most well-known characters of all times, like seriously. That's absolutely. Crazy. Yes, it is. And just watching it 30 years later, it's like I don't look at movies and TV shows the same. Yes, there we go. So refreshing. I love talking to my people. You know, it's just like it shows on your face. You're glowing. It absolutely. What we put in our bodies, it shines from inside to out. Like so
and
obvious.
I like me.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't embrace. You know, you love yourself, but do you really like yourself? And are you doing the things that Okay, you want other people to like you. There's that thing, I think it's from Love Jones. Would you date you?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So a lot of people just aren't doing the things to just like yourself. And if you like yourself,
Yeah. Right.
it
My
all
last,
falls in line.
yes. Oh my goodness. My last relationship held a mirror to my face. And I was like, I don't like that. But you're actually doing the same things that I am, and you're the same person that I am. So it's like I need to change that about myself. So I'm grateful for all the things that I've gone through, and people that I see, people that I meet, and the ups and the downs. I learn
Yeah.
from all of it. I embrace all of it. So
Yeah.
that is all.
Surviving the betrayal of false friendship. That's a line in Khalil Gibran in The Prophet. And
Hmm.
those things are supposed to happen because you grow in the valley. Nobody grows on the mountaintop. And I
Yeah,
see a lot of people on the mountaintop doing a lot of things. I'm like,
yeah,
you're gonna roll back down that mountaintop eventually, and
yeah.
then you're not going to be able to handle being
Hmm.
in the valley.
Right, right. Oh my. So here's a good question for you. So I don't know your dating life or anything like that. Could you date someone that's not plant based?
That's a great question. That's a great question, and I've never been asked that.
Right.
I oof.
It's tough. It's
if if they agreed, I don't think anyone would come after me that wasn't vegan on a
okay.
serious level because I
Okay.
put that out there. So
Okay.
first of all, if you are serious about me,
Mhm.
then you're going to understand this lifestyle,
Okay. That's fair.
and you're going to take baby steps. And if those baby steps don't turn into the lifestyle, and if it's not for you, that's okay. But I can control my emotions. you know
Hmm.
i've had you know I've had my time in the sun. I've had some of the best physical relationships, but I can control my emotions. I know what I want, and I listen. I got cats that are meat eaters. I don't want a man that's a meat eater too. I just don't. So you wouldn't even turn my head. Like I wouldn't even it wouldn't even be a thought in my mind that we
Yeah.
could ever be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Only if somebody
And
came to me and say, "Hey, I would consider this lifestyle." And the way that I help people ask me, "How do you go vegan?" I just tell people start because we don't want you to fail. Don't just go cold turkey. Don't do that.
no.
Just start with Monday and Wednesday. Find you
Hmm.
some recipes, find you a vegan restaurant, find a source for you to get food that doesn't contain animal.
Yeah.
Stay there as long as you need to.
Hmm.
Explore the lifestyle, explore it just Monday and Wednesday. And then when you're ready, add Friday.
There
And
you go.
then just stay there. Just stay
Yeah.
there. Just stay
Yeah.
there. And what's
Yeah.
going to happen is on that Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to have some leftovers from Monday and Wednesday. And you're like, I can't put meat with this because it made me feel so good. I'm not going to mess it up. And then before you know it, 6 months later, your budget is doing better. Girl, my plates cost pennies, but I do cook. Like
Yeah.
I'll cook a big pot of lentils and I'll do a bunch of stuff with that. I'll cook a big pot of chickpeas and I'll make some hummus. I'll make fritters. I'll make milk.
Yeah.
I just so
Yeah.
I mean the plate I'm gonna make today, the plate's gonna cost 50 cents.
Yes. Oh my God. Do you do some of that on that kind of posting? Because that is that I have the most trouble with my clients on helping them understand that, because it's this facade that eating healthy is expensive. And I'm like, there's no way that a package of vegetables is more than a pack of chicken. Like it's just not.
Well,
It's not.
here's the caveat with that.
Okay.
They want the imitation meats,
Right.
and those are expensive. And
Right.
so I always suggest those to people who are transitioning, but that's
Mhm.
not part of my diet. You know, I don't want to. But the hamburger meat, I make my hamburger meat is mushrooms and walnuts, and
Yeah.
I'll do some chickpea to bind it together and some flaxseed. You
Yeah.
like meat because you season it with plants, so just season the plants with plants, right? And I've worked at it enough because I like myself, and I've
Yeah.
worked at it enough to really really get good at it. So when
Yeah.
all back in like 2014, 2015, when all those documentaries were coming out,
Mhm.
I knew that, you know, black folks down in the hood in Crenshaw district were going to be scrambling trying to figure out this vegan thing.
Yeah.
So Bradley had just gone to school. I had a juice bar in Burbank that the partners sold. So
Okay.
I was a shareholder. So, and I ran operations. They did not want to do food. So I was like, okay, bet. We sold it. I moved on. And I went down to the hood and I found a kitchen inside of a donut shop. And I opened up Jackfruit Cafe. And
Okay.
I got really, really good fast. And it was soul food. You know, I've got a spice blend that you can put in black eyed peas. You missing no turkey. You just not missing it. And then I would saute some jackfruit, throw that in there. You couldn't tell that that wasn't turkey because you know it's fibrous.
Mm-hmm.
So the menu was supposed to be like a vegan Chipotle with just jackfruit. And I had four different jackfruits. I had a Korean flavor, I had a curry, I had barbecue, and then I had a plain one for people that, you know, didn't want the sauces. But
Okay.
I just got really, really good. And I try to get people to eat whole foods
Mm-hmm.
when they're changing over, but that's hard because it does take work.
Yeah.
You know, but I tell people to throw some beans in your crock pot, put it on low, and let it cook all day.
Yeah.
You know,
For
and then
sure.
take those beans, you can make all kinds of stuff with it. But
Yeah.
but where people are talking about vegan food is expensive is the fake meats,
Right.
is the fake
Right.
burger meats. I've got a steak on my profile.
I saw
Girl,
it. It looks
girl,
good.
girl.
It looks good.
They sent that to me though. I would
Okay.
not pay. I would not pay. And I think it's over $10 at the grocery store.
Okay.
You get two steaks, and I invited a friend over, and she
Mhm.
didn't know. Her family were cattle people, and she was like, Angela, this is probably the best steak I ever had. I sauteed it in the same thing, I'll do a marinade of olive oil, a little rice vinegar, and I put a little pop of cinnamon, a little pop of nutmeg, some salt and
Okay.
pepper, and then another blend of herbs. Girl, that thing was so good. I was like, oh my God, this is a steak. But I wouldn't suggest people to eat that all the time because it's still processed,
Right. Right. Yeah.
right?
Like you
You,
said, we need the transition, and that's what I needed for sure. But now, like the fried oyster mushrooms and the oyster steak and stuff like that, it's too much like meat for me now. And I'm like, I just want regular vegetables. But it's a process, though. It's a process.
girl, I'm growing oyster mushrooms. I got a handful in the refrigerator now. I'm gonna make it here in a little bit. I'm gonna eat that while I'm making my fritters.
Oh my
I
God.
love oyster mushrooms.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. But you probably do you fry a lot of it or you just um roast it or what?
Um, these I'm going to make a kebab. So
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna saute them and then the sauce and yeah. So
Oh,
this is Pirate, and
got it.
Pirate is a male cat. So male cats are they're like you gotta pry them off of you.
Oh
Here
my
in
goodness.
my county, look, it's your baby. All right, go play. Um, it's their feeding time actually.
Okay. All
And
right.
he's the
Well,
ringleader.
Well, listen, we won't hold you, but I really appreciate this conversation. And anytime you want to go back live, I feel like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends, and so we can do this anytime. But that's what I do. Like your tips were great as far as helping people transition. That's actually what I do full time. That's my business, is helping people with their relationship with food. So you're gonna put me out of business if you keep giving out these great tips. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'll stop and I'll refer everyone. I'll refer everyone to you.
I'm kidding.
Because they'll trust you a lot better. You have the credentials. Me, I'm just Felicia, and it's like why would I believe you? Because let me tell you, when I went vegan, I was sick. I was on my way to some serious chronic diseases, and my son was named starting quarterback at the University of Miami as a freshman, which that's quarterback U. That's one of the most storied historical football programs in the country. And he was 17 years old, and he had done everything that we asked. He was a honor student, dean's list, just stellar human being. And here I am on the other side of the country getting sick. How unfair was that? So I always tell people too, you have to find your source of discipline.
Absolutely.
Once you find your source of discipline, you can do anything. And I was able to, within 6 months, I went raw vegan, and within 6 months, I lost 75 pounds, and everything went 6 months. I was that dedicated because he was so dedicated. He had, the curriculum at is ridiculous. It's like an Ivy League of the South.
Oh, yeah.
He was the media darling. He was the team quarterback. He was the leader. He just had all these demands. And I just couldn't do him like that. And now add sick mom.
Yeah. Wow.
I just couldn't do it. So I just dug deep. Girl, I wanted fried chicken so bad. I wanted some. I love Wendy's burgers. I love McDonald's fish sandwich.
Right.
But they didn't love me, and it's food. Food is medicine, and medicine is food. Girl, I could talk to you forever, ever. We got a schedule. Let's go. Let's go next Thursday. Let's come back next Thursday, and we'll. But there's a lot of things that I have told people over the years that they'll come back and say, I'm vegan because of you, and you saved my life.
Love it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, man. You know, because there's so much room for all of us and everything, and we need each other. I can't do it by myself, and you can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we need each other to just, get our people right, because
let's go live next Thursday. Let's talk about detoxing and what it actually is.
Dun, 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 right? All right, Chef, thank you so much, and I look forward to it, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Doc. See you later.
Have a good one.
Okay.